Project Veritas has done many videos on voter fraud this year, but none directly implicating a sitting member of Congress. Jim Moran, Virginia's 11-term incumbent congressman, has a son named Pat Moran, who is the field director for his father's re-election campaign. On October 8th, Pat Moran was caught on tape by one of our undercover reporters talking about how to forge documents in order to vote in other people's names, violating federal and state laws. What you're about to see is both damning and disturbing. It takes an unprecedented inside view at voter fraud in the United States, something that many claim doesn't even exist. First, we'll show you some excerpts, then the raw tape. Our videographer approached Pat Moran in a Cosi restaurant a block away from campaign headquarters in Arlington, Virginia, and explained that he had 100 names who he wanted to vote on behalf of.
He's found about 100 names on voter rolls records. He's 100 people who don't vote. He's looking for 2 guys to help him with something.
Crank it out?
Yes. He's got a van, and he and me, we're going to go around and
rally those people out of it, get them to the polls.
Well, he was actually going to get in a van and vote for them.
Oh.
Kind of, but it's scary, but I don't want to lose, and I'm frightened.
Yeah.
Pat Moran advises our reporter on faking utility bills when illegally assuming the identity of unsuspected registered voters, and is initially lukewarm on the idea of voting on other people's behalf.
So it's going to be with the new voter ID laws as well. Because we're going to have...
He's got a few in D.C. He's got some in Maryland as well.
And I imagine it'll be easy enough
Between
him to get...
you and me.
Like utility bills or something like that. Because he'll need bills, so he'll need something with the name and their address on it.
He's telling me that they're going to be hesitant to enforce it. He's telling me it's a law, but there's law and then there's enforcement.
And there'll be a lot of voter protection. So if they just have, just need a utility bill or a bank statement. Bank statement obviously would be tough, but I think faking a utility bill would be easy enough.
How would you do that?
I would just find, I don't know, I guess.
Just Microsoft Word and type it out.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know, but that's tough, man. I feel like all the energy that you're going to be putting into this, I think it would be much better suited finding out with just like the in-place GOTV stuff, because for all that stuff and kind of getting people that haven't voted in that amount of time, and that energy that you'd be putting in trying to ensure that it went through without a hitch, and the risk that you're doing, I feel like plugging in and going to some of the underperforming districts.
But then our videographer takes out a bag of pieces of paper, which he says are inactive voters' names and addresses. And then Pat Moran tells our undercover reporter he has to forge the utility bills in order to vote in other people's names.
He's got name and address. That's the best bet.
Well, no, it has to be formal. Look at the law.
Okay.
But it has to be like a utility bill or something like that, so you have to forge it.
Pat Moran tells our reporter it's going to be tough with the Virginia voter ID laws in place, but advises our reporter he would have a Democratic National Committee attorney who would help or participate in the fraud so long as the forged documents look good.
Well, I think with the law, I think people will be pretty trained up on it, because they'll be ready for, it's ready for all the voter protection people and everything to come cranking down on it. Now, you're going to have, you'll have somebody in-house that if they feel that what you have is legitimate, they'll argue for you, and I imagine...
The OFA lawyer?
The OFA lawyer, yeah, or provided by the committees. But it's got to look good.
It's got to look good.
I think that's going to be a matter of...
Need to find a computer guy.
It's got to be a computer guy.
That's probably my next step.
Yeah.
All right.
As they enter the elevator into the campaign office, Pat Moran advises our reporter that he should impersonate pollsters and call unsuspecting voters to determine if they were in fact inactive.
I'm impressed, man. Yeah, I would look at the law, I would look at what you need, but I imagine it's going to be something, it's just going to have name and address on there. It looks like you'll be able to satisfy that. But it's going to have to look legit.
Look legit? Fuck. Tech guy. Tech guy.
You're fucking tech guy, bro.
Tech guy.
I wish you could just call these people up. And I would, before doing that, I would call these people up and just, ensure that they're not planning on.
So make sure they're not going to vote. Just call and ask. Make sure.
Yeah, I would just call them up and just kind of get their feelings on the election because, these people very well could have
early voted.
Or could have, they could have confirmed, been part of this oath at university, kind of got swept up in it.
Or
so I would call and canvass them.
Okay.
And then identify, kind of make that first sweep. Just call, hey, I'm calling up, you can even just call one of the guys that being like a pollster.
Pretend to be a pollster.
Yeah, do you guys plan on voting? November 6th. Because they're filling from there, and then, then depending on their answer, then just kind of, if they say yes, and then go through and just find out if the answer what.
Good call.
They'll walk around the neighborhood,
Pat and our reporter walk into the Arlington County Democratic Committee office, which serves as the Arlington County Joint Campaign headquarters for Barack Obama, Congressman Jim Moran, former governor and Senate candidate Tim Kaine. Federal Election Commission itemized disbursements indicate that Pat Moran is a full-time paid employee for his father's re-election campaign. Finally, Pat Moran tells our reporter to look into committing the fraud.
And then, like that's probably.
Okay. You hadn't. Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then, look into it.
Call first. Call them. Okay. That could get pretty awkward if they already early voted and you're in there. Really awkward. Be ready to run. That's what Gio says.
Not being that good. I mean, I respect your initiative.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you respect it.
Project Veritas has found 3 federal or state statutes at play. The Virginia Election Code says that any person who intentionally procures, assists, or induces another to vote more than once is guilty of a Class 6 felony. Federal law has penalties for providing false information and for double voting. And just recently, on October 23rd, Jim Moran asked the Department of Justice to probe voter fraud allegations in the state of Virginia. What will be the reaction from the Congressman and the Democratic National Committee now? Here is the full, raw, unedited video of Patrick Moran.
Can I ask you a quick question?
I'll get him.
A question about election stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, normally I wouldn't get too involved in politics.
Yeah.
I mean, people say rich getting richer and poor getting poorer, and I mean, I tend to say, you know what, if they're not hurting me, it's not a big deal or anything, but this election, it has me really scared. I mean,
Rightfully so.
my girlfriend, she goes to Georgetown.
Yeah.
She works on the side. It's the American dream. She's working her way to college, and her boss is not going to pay for her reproductive services anymore. Right? And I'm not ready for that at 23. I'm not, and she's not. We're not ready for that. I'm kind of scared, and I know you're a well-connected guy, and you can politics and everything. He's found about 100 names on voter rolls records. It's a really great research guy, Joe Ross. These people haven't voted, and they've been registered to vote in like the past 3 elections in Virginia.
Whereabouts are they?
Reston, Fairfax, Richmond and Arlington, Alexandria, around.
Yeah. And how did you get what's the list from?
I have no idea. He's a research guy. He was telling me about it. But
it's all going to be critical in GOTV. I mean, it's
100 people who don't vote. He's looking for 2 guys to help him with something.
Crank it out.
Yes. He's got a van, and he and me, we're going to go around and
rally those people out of it, get them to the polls.
well, he was actually going to get in a van and vote for them.
Oh.
Kind of, but it's scary, but I'm not. I don't want to lose, and I'm frightened.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever, man.
Well, that's going to be tough.
Do you know 2 people? Can you give me 2 names to help us with that? 2 names of people who are fervent, who maybe I could trust.
I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough with the new. Let's go for that.
Okay.
But
He actually double voted in 2008. He got away with it.
did he?
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, so it's going to be with the new voter ID laws as well. Because we're going to have.
He's got a few in D.C. He's got some in Maryland as well.
And I imagine he'll be using
Between
him to get
you and me.
like utility bills or something like that. Because he'll need bills, so he'll need something with the name and their address on it.
He's telling me that they're going to be hesitant to enforce it. He's telling me it's a law, but there's law and then there's enforcement.
And there'll be a lot of voter protection. So if they just have, just need a utility bill or a bank statement obviously would be tough, but I think faking that utility bill would be easy enough.
How would you do that?
I mean, I would just find, I don't know, I guess.
Just Microsoft Word and type it out.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know, but that's tough, man. I mean, like, I feel like all the energy that you're going to be putting into this, I think it would be much better suited grinding out with with just like the in-place GOTV stuff, because for all that stuff and kind of getting people that haven't voted in that amount of time, and that energy that you'd be putting in and trying to like ensure that it went through without a hitch, and the risk that you're doing, I feel like you're plugging in and going to some of the like underperforming districts. And there's places down in Mount Vernon and like Prince William and places like that where OFA is trying to get it going, but they, it's largely minority population by people that just haven't been plugged in, and people that have been plugged in like Republican districts, and they're just not enthused.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a big effort to ensure that they get to the polls, but it's just not going to be.
It's going to be a lot of gas money anyway.
It's going to be a lot of gas money. But getting those people out to vote early, knock them out as much as you can, and then on election day, it's really all that energy spent.
If these people didn't vote in 2008, they're not going to vote in 2012.
Yeah. That's tough. I don't want to see it, because then that makes
Do you have like 2 guys who are like trustworthy, who might be 2 names, 2 guys? Do you think Darvin would be good?
Who?
Darvin? Do you think he could do it?
I don't know who Darvin is.
He volunteers. He did voter red shirt a week ago. Shorter guy, skinny.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know him.
What about Craig? He and I get along, and he seems like a cool guy.
Craig Hines?
Yes. Well, the bigger guy, heavy set.
Yeah.
He's from Texas.
Like big, older guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you want to talk to him about it.
I mean, he's a realist. I know that. I mean, he's very realistic, and I'd like to talk to him.
Yeah,
I mean, I wasn't as scared when that debate happened.
I know.
I mean, I watched it and I thought it was like a draw. And if anything, I thought, how did people look at this guy, Romney? I mean, He looks like Dick Nixon. He's got his hair slicked back. He's rubbing his upper lip. He's talking all these general. He won't name the plans and the loopholes he's going to close. It's like, I have a secret plan to end the Vietnam War.
It's basic, like,
fucking
business of just sell them on the plan and tell them to sign here. Just tell them everything that the people want to hear. But then not have, but then just get them to sign and then actually show them. Yeah, and then that's the rude awakening to the...
I'm going to be blunt with you. Joe, Rossi, and me are going to vote for these 100 people who are on the rolls who don't vote. All right? We need 2 names. People who could we possibly...
That's hardcore, man. I would talk to those guys that you feel like that you're getting good, that you feel like are hardcore with it. I'll think on it. I don't know.
This is just so... I don't want to see this happen.
No, I know.
All right?
Yeah.
I mean, if some of these debates go wrong, I'm not ready for this shit.
I'm confident that Obama will be able to bounce back.
Sure.
Yeah, very much so. And I think and the cards are off the table now. I mean, like, when Romney came up and said this, essentially just lying his way through, I think the debate prep on here forward, Obama's going to be prepped for it. He's going to know, like, what's coming. He's going to be able to, he's going to have confidence to call him out on a lot more of his shit. And because it kind of put him on the burner, like, it's like, all right, let's have my shit together. I mean, he's got his shit together over here. And I think Biden will take it off and be good. Because he'll be able to just attack Ryan on all. It'll essentially be an exposed party.
I hope so.
It'll be an exposed party of what that Ryan budget plan is. And I think, Ryan will end up trying to turn it towards Libya and things like that. But I mean, the fact is, it's on the books, and there's so many. I mean, literally Ledbetter, and all the cuts, all the education cuts, and all this stuff. That it's just going to be. Look at what these people are really about, and you can say the lofty.
All right, and can Paul Ryan debate Joe Biden on foreign policy? No. He's going to crush him. He's going to He's going to make him look like an idiot. But the thing is, somehow they skate by, and it's ridiculous.
My hope is that they won't skip by.
Well, I sure as hell hope you're right, but you're a lot more optimistic than I am.
Yeah.
Realistically speaking, what do you need to vote for? If you were to go in and vote for someone else in Virginia, you go into the polling place, you need either a utility bill.
Yeah, big statement. So essentially something with somebody's, name and a picture.
Okay.
Or...
it's going to be kind of hard to get.
Or a name and an address.
Name and address? So just give them the address?
But it would have to be, it'd have to be like a utility bill. Or a,
That's what we're dealing with right now. That's what they would show you here. It says Brianna Clancy, 112346, Bobcat Street, Richmond, Virginia.
So how are they going to? So you're going to go all the way down to Richmond?
Well, if we get some people to help us, we won't have to go. Maybe someone else will, and we'll go elsewhere. So he's got name and address. That's the best bet.
Well, no, it has to be formal. Look at the law.
Okay.
But it has to be like a utility bill or something like that, so you have to forge it.
Roll the dice.
I don't know, man. I think you should, all this everything, I think you should pump right into TV. Just like grinding people out and get on doors.
Well,
target these undecideds.
Okay, but they're still undecided at this point. I kind of have to wonder.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. All right, I
think a lot of them just like the attention. I think a lot of them won't vote, I think. But there's also people, there's people that will vote for us. I mean, look at all when those polls came out with all the people that weren't registered to vote and didn't plan to vote, and how much that favored Obama.
Really?
Yeah, huge. It's like 70%.
They say they weren't registered?
So they either weren't registered or were not planning on voting. and they favored, and a lot of that's name recognition.
Okay.
But at the same time, a lot of that is just going places where people just aren't plugged in.
Logistically speaking, let me ask you this. Okay, you law in Virginia. I doubt they're going to be really strict about enforcing it, number one. Number two, all right, I know what you're saying, well, that's a chance, but, I mean, you go in there, what's the worst that could happen? You just say, you know what, look, I forgot the utility bill. It's in the car, you leave. 50% of the time, this is what Joe was saying, probably about 50% of the time, realistically, you vote.
Well, I think with the law, I think people will be pretty trained up on it because they'll be ready for, it's ready for all the voter protection people and everything to come cranking down on it. Now, you're going to have, you'll have somebody in-house that if they feel that what you have is legitimate, they'll argue for you, and I imagine...
The OFA lawyer?
The OFA lawyer, yeah, or provided by the committees. What kind of committees? But it's got to look good.
It's got to look good.
I think that's going to be a matter of...
Need to find a computer guy.
It's got to be a computer guy.
That's probably my next step.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's hard crazy. Fuck, dude.
I'm fucking scared.
Are you going up? What are you doing? Are you not going up dogs now?
Well, actually, no, a computer guy in Roslyn I'm thinking about going and talking to, but... Are you doing voter reg now?
No, I got...
When do you guys do voter reg? Because I can come back to that.
They usually do it from like 4 to 7. The kind of people coming off. So I guess it would be starting off pretty close. Pretty soon. So 5 to 7, I guess.
I think that's probably
The metros.
the best thing I can do now.
I do a lot of voter reg, plug in with the GOTV efforts, because every weekend from here on out is going to be a dry run of the election. So you're going to try to make a complete pass of the entire universe, which is pretty fucking unbelievable. But it needs, workers to do that, to make that happen. And then I would also, then as we get closer, a lot of it's going to become, I think, as far as the presidential race goes, people that show up in person absentee will know when they're voting for the president. As far as downtake it to make sure that we keep make sure that we get Kane elected and just to keep power in the House.
Obviously, yeah.
Getting in-person absentee or getting sample ballots in those people's hands, I think is going to be pretty important. Because I think it's not going to. I think a lot of people might just go in and just not really know, but. I imagine that'll be more imperative as we get closer. I think right now the people that are doing it, particularly in Arlington, are doing it as a result of all the mail pieces, which have everybody on it. GOTV stuff. Stuart.
Here he is.
Oh. But yeah.
He's
You're a
not
hardcore fucker, dude.
Yeah, I'm just not ready for this world that I'm. I got a couple of friends who are kind of. Well, there's one guy in my house who's around this supporter, and he's pretty much ever
Whereabouts
since
do you live?
Alexandria, in the yellow line, Huntington. Mm-hmm. He's
You've been plugging in with the Virginia Victory office down there?
I've been in and out a few times, kind of go all over. But I want to go, it's not very busy there. If you register people at the end of the Huntington line, you get no one.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's going there. It's this places like here where there's a lot of people coming in and out, where it's worth it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm impressed, man. Yeah, I would look at the law, look at what you need, but I imagine it's going to be some, it's just going to have a name and address on there. It looks like you'll be able to satisfy that. But it's going to have to look legit.
Look legit. Fuck. Tech guy.
You're a fucking tech guy, bro.
Tech guy.
I wish we could just call these people up. I would, before doing that, I would call these people up and just, ensure that they're not planning on.
So make sure they're not going to vote. Just call and ask. make sure?
Yeah, I would just call them up and just kind of get their feelings on the election, because, you know, these people very well could have
Early voted?
Or could have, you know, they could have confirmed, you know, been part of this oath of university, kind of got swept up in it.
Where's
So I would call and canvass them,
Okay. Call.
and then identify, kind of make that first sweep. Just call, hey, I'm calling up, you can even just call one of the guys that being like a pollster.
Pretend to be a pollster.
Yeah, do you guys plan on voting? And you know, November 6th, because they're filling from there, and then, you know, then depending on their answer, and then just kind of, if they say yes, and then go through and just find out if the answer what.
Good call.
They'll walk around the neighborhood, maybe they'll be
And then,
Mm-hmm.
like that's probably.
Okay. You hadn't. Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then, overall, you won't be look into it.
Call first. Call them. Okay. That could get pretty awkward if they already early voted and you're in there. Really awkward. Be ready to run. That's what Joe says.
Not being asked. Good. I mean, I respect your initiative.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you respect it.
You know, I mean, I personally.
I can get you some, maybe. I'll just run down there.
Oh, no, don't worry about it.
You guys about to do voter reg?
Stay tuned to ProjectVeritas.com.